I don't care what you guys think. I was about to say, I don't care what you guys think. I'm having fun. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Team Pizza Plays Wario Land 2. I, of course, am Whatthefnu.
And I am a big fan of this game.
So am I. Played a lot.
Franchise. Really.
Yeah. The Wario games are all... I mean, with the exception of Shake It, I think all of them are phenomenal.
Everyone's got to have one.
Yeah. I mean, even Metroid has one black sheep in the franchise. Before it used to be Metroid Pinball, but... And even that wasn't that bad of a game.
Well, now, thanks to Team Ninja, Metroid Pinball is probably a lot more fondly remembered.
That's the thing, like, people don't remember it, and it's not, and it's pretty good. Like, maybe one of these days I'll cover it on RTGs or something.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Or maybe I'll do a sequel list to that one countdown about, the top 8 obscure games from famous names. No, wait a second, I think that was on there. Or was it? God, it's been like a year or so. I don't even... It's so weird.
I cannot remember.
It's so weird to talk about that kind of thing. Like, because people get questions like this all the time at conventions. YouTubers. This happens to James Rolfe a lot. Like, people will ask him, hey, can you say this particular line from this one video? And he's sitting there like, hang on, I need to watch the video again so that I can remember what it even was. And that sounds so strange, because everyone else has got his videos memorized, but he doesn't, and he's the guy who made them.
Well, that's exactly the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you commit other people's videos to memory because there's gotta be some kind of psychology behind this. Like, how they're more important to you. Because when you're making them yourself, it's like, okay, I finished this work, now I'm just gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's the matter of you're working on... You don't want to focus on the past when you're creating because you're trying to make new and interesting things. If you're remembering something from way back when, you'll just keep rehashing it.
Mm.
You know, someone else, they're just watching it for entertainment. You know, they can repeat the joke over and over because they're sharing it with new people or whatever. But when it's you writing, you need to constantly be focusing on the future. So... You know, it ends up being you can't even remember these things you did because you're too busy getting the next thing ready.
Mm. Sometimes.
But even then, that you can remember someone else's work.
I will say, sometimes I'll go back and watch an old video. Every once in a long while. Like, if somebody comments on an old video and says something like... Because these are questions I like to answer a lot, because they're the kinds of questions I'd like to get answered. Somebody will ask, like, what's that song that you played at this time code? Or, what's the game that was right here? And, I always try to answer those if I see them in my box. I know you're not supposed to read the comments, but I try to anyway, because I feel like I can do some legitimate good here and there.
It's just a matter of... It's learning to have the comment filter. First off, don't read replies, just read comments.
Mm.
Because replies tend to be where the stupid starts to come out.
Mm-mm.
Some people genuinely answering, others just building into flame wars, you know?
Mm.
So don't read the replies, just read the comments. And that'll give you a good idea of these are the things to just glance over. Remember that opinions are opinions.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's entitled to one, no one thinks theirs is wrong.
People...
Etc., etc.
I will say this, like... My community's still small enough to where I haven't really gotten terrible comments from a lot of people. Like, you'd think I'd pass 10,000 and be like, okay, this is where the dickheads start to come out, but no, people are still really cool. Even when I talk controversial subjects, like the Nintendo and innovation rant that I did, it was still, like, a lot of people bringing up, well, I see where you're coming from, but here's where I disagree. Like, nobody making death threats or... I think there was, like, one guy who said he was going to unsub from the channel, and that was the worst that happened.
Well, there you go.
Like, when I opened that P.O. box, I was fully expecting that letter I opened. Like, I know the worst use for imagination is anxiety, but I just want to say, if that guy who sent me that letter in the P.O. box is watching this, thank you for not, like, filling that letter full of anthrax or literal dog shit.
I don't think they'd ship them that way anymore.
Alright, you ready, buddy?
Alright, hang on a second. Fullest screenest. Alright.
Just say when.
When?
Let the games begin! 100 coins into the pod. Roll up, everybody. We're looking for the Cyclops to Fludge, gel monster. He's not on my side.
Down 1, over 1.
Bingo! We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen, and give the men their prize.
We get... face?
A mermaid
Glove.
tail?
Yeah. I have no idea.
I don't either.
And
But
thus, the limitations of the Game Boy begin to rear their head. This is a very well... You know, you look at, like... the first Mario Land game and compare it even just to the second, you can see where they were really learning how to,
Yeah.
get...
That's one of the great things about pixel art. It's true. I will agree with people on one thing. It is very easy for anybody to pick up pixel art, but not many people have the ability to do pixel art well. That's the big difference. Like, not many people can create something that looks like Shovel Knight or Freedom Planet.
You know, really mastering the art of artificial shading and all that stuff to create these very elaborate and pleasant-looking, etc., designs.
It's making something look great despite the limitations. It's not the limitation itself that's appealing to people, it's making something that looks great even though you're hampering yourself intentionally. Because that's what the big guys, the famous guys back in the day had to do themselves. By the way, interesting note about this. You can't actually ground pound this thing. You see Wario going into the animation, but he just goes straight into a crouch as soon as he lands on it. You have to shoulder tackle that. It's just an interesting property to that thing that I always found weird when I was a kid.
That's a shame, because it could have been a great way to get to your path.
Yeah, it'd be like it
You ground
shoots him up
pound it.
so quickly that it flies him to the roof of the castle or something.
Or just a cloud world. You end up stealing the golden throne. Well, he would.
I mean, screw my old castle. Like, I just found this magical mystery land hanging out in this place I never even looked at. You can have the old place, Maple.
Okay, well, this is a 0, a 7, or a 1.
Yes. It's a 0.
Thank you.
Those coins are persistent, by the way, I just noticed. Like, they carry from level to level, so... as long as we're good about picking up everything we see, we'll be able to get all of these map pieces as we go. Now it's time to go down into the cellar. And I believe this is where we're... well, that's a great way to start. That's a great analogy for Wario Land 1 in general, by the way. Just Wario enters the level and immediately gets smushed by a 10-ton weight. Roll up, roll up. Would you like to play a game of Lucky Hit? That's the one thing I miss from Wario Land 1 that I wish was in this one, is gambling. I acknowledge that I might have a problem, but at the same time...
No, I've always liked gambling minigames.
So have I. I'm alright at blackjack. Like, that's my game, if you will. My grandmother really liked the slots. Those were her thing. You're not supposed to get up there like that, it's just the way I always did it as a kid. I didn't put 2 and 2 together and try to use the whole... like, here's how you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to get picked up by this... bat? No, that's not it. I guess you are supposed to just knock out that guy with the weight. Anyway.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
It always feels good when you figure out the mechanic ahead of time.
Yeah.
Wait, I know what we have to do here.
So do I. I'm just making sure I get all the coins first. Alright, now, this is going to be a little bit finicky. Flat Wario isn't the most reliable transformation on Earth. Oh, try again.
You've got to slot the nail.
There we go.
Aha. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
I mean...
OCD, get the coin.
Wario would go back for that one coin. Mechanical role-playing.
Ow, 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 ow.
My foot! My fucking foot!
And ear.
That's the best part about Wario, is just... he's that very crude type of character, so... imagining him saying all kinds of horrible, nasty things in several situations to, like, just whoever. Mario, you piece of shit! I've always wanted to see a teen-rated Wario game. It'd be like My Little Pony in the sense that they're just... the age rating has changed, and now we're just seeing what we can get away with. You know? Seriously, like, first episode they did that for that show, they had one of their characters threatening to, quote, solve all of the problems for these 3 girls forever. And the shyest one in the group literally snapping a bear's neck.
Fun times.
Like, I don't even watch the
I know what you're talking about, but now I'm curious.
Like, I don't even watch the show. Like, I found out about that, I think it was from the Mysterious Mr. Enter. And I was like, wow, that took a dark turn. It's not quite cupcakes, but it's still... Oh, right, I remember now. So Wario's a bit too, shall we say, vertical for this part of the game. So in order to fix that problem, we need to distribute the weight a little bit. Or distribute...
right on top of his head.
Yeah, distribute the mass, if you will. And speaking of Wario saying horrible things... Nice mass! I know. It's just an exercise in something you and I like to do a lot, which is getting shit past the radar.
And now we need to be flat again so we can get down to that other secret area.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a secret exit out of this level. Like, you don't actually have to fight the boss that's here. There's another way out of the castle to explore some other areas, but like I said, I will be taking the normal path for now.
Unless we accidentally go the wrong way.
Right. That has happened before. Like, this was way back in the day when you and I were playing it. Well, basically when I was playing it, like, I first discovered that, I think it was my Hapog was recognized by XSplit as a camera, but then it decided to change its mind and be like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We want your XSplit to be recognized as a camera instead. And I'm like, okay. Way to be indecisive about that. You be you, bro.
I don't think you need to go all the way to the top. I think that's the problem. You want to be just like the slot over it. You should swing into the place.
Yeah.
Go left. No, too far. You want it to be in just like the slot over where the slot is. And then you should just float down into it, I think.
Okay. No.
Okay, so 2 up. Right there, go.
There we go. Good call.
And that will make you tall.
Alright, full screen once again.
Hang on. It's time to play Find the Guy.
You think that's what they intended you to do, too? Just like have a friend over to help you solve these kinds of things? That's why hard is so difficult? Or maybe they just vastly overestimated the human brain.
1.
Wow, same
This
spot?
is the same exact one we had last time!
Huh! Now that's making me think, did they just pull from a pool, or is it 100% random? Okay, so that's like a cauldron? A vase, maybe?
One of those 2 things.
Call back to another one of my favorite Let's Players. I see a ghost. Mr. Saturn? Wait a second, there was something up there. I'm not crazy, there's something up there. Wait a second, no, that's the secret exit, I'm a dummy. And I just said we weren't gonna go for it either. Sorry, it's... Old habits die hard. I'm like, I get one little clue in the level, and it's like, oh, I gotta go chase this rabbit now. It was games like this that actually taught me that kind of thing, to question everything I knew about games and be like, hang on a second, I gotta look in every single corner of every frame for tiny little details. Like, if something looks a little weird here or out of place, like, I've gotten to the point where I just know there's a secret somewhere. Like, I've studied game design and level design so much to be like, this seems a little bit off. Even if it's not immediately obvious. Okay, so that could be a lot of things. 7, a 3, or a 2, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a corner
That's 2.
piece.
That's a 2.
Oh, you're right. Aha!
I'm very good at those kind of puzzles.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, that's the one. Because I was realizing the 0's not because it's lined up against the wall too tight.
Oh yeah,
So-
that is the one thing that's
That is
completely
the-
unique. Is that little corner piece?
Which could, yeah, and it only works for the 2.
Okay.
So that's your RNG. If it's a 2 and it's that little corner, you get it.
All right. I kept the first episode to 2 levels, but I'm thinking because there's a boss in this one, we'll make the second episode 3. I think we'll keep up that pattern, like 2, 3, 2, 3, as we go along.
Is this the boss level then?
Yes, this is the boss level.
Okay. And making it its own video would be silly because it's not as...
Yeah, it's the same length as a normal level. It's just it happens to have a big ol' fight at the end. You want to avoid that guy if you can. We're not ready to turn into Zombie Wario quite yet.
Look, it's all the money!
I just realized Wario is a Saiyan. Because hurting him only makes him more powerful. You get what I'm saying? Defeating a sandwich only makes it tastier? Oh wait, this is the secret exit. Forgot about that.
Oh,
So I actually
oh,
did
never mind.
miss something in the last stage. Awesome.
Well, crap.
So we'll be exploring more about what that does later. For now, I think this door leads to... Where does that lead to? Oh, yeah. This is what happens if you fail at the boss fight. You end up here, and then you have to go back around again. Because there technically is a way to lose at the boss fights. I mean, you can get kicked out, and you'll have to go back in and try again. It's more embarrassing than anything else. I'm gonna be honest. It's like the bosses are just wasting your time, which you could argue is an even worse punishment.
That was cool.
Yeah. The ricochet!
Plinko! Yeah.
Oh, I've got a funny story about that. So, back when my mom was working at her old job, they had a company-wide thing. It's like, every time you got a commission on the things you were selling, you got to play on this, what was essentially a Plinko machine. It was essentially this big old machine where you could drop a ball in and see what you got. And when I heard about that, I was like, hang on a second, have you heard of this guy called MatPat? He did a whole video about Plinko and probability. And believe it or not, after watching that and learning that you're supposed to put the ball in one of the middle slots to get the best results, she actually came home with like a $500 bonus off of playing the game.
Neat.
It was really cool. I'm like, yay, I'm helping.
It's nice to contribute.
So welcome to Wario jumps up and down stairs for 2 hours straight.
Because OCD every coin. Ah, crap.
We need more money.
I just had flashbacks to the Tom and Jerry movie.
In theory, Tom and Jerry talking can be done well, but it wasn't done well.
I don't know. They were always physical humor. It's sort of like Roadrunner and Coyote.
Full screen, by the way.
I am there already, man.
Oh, one step ahead. Nice. That's right. He can be taught.
All right, we got
Fry Guy
Fire
again.
Guy.
I don't care if that's not his official name. That's what he's called now. I got him. It was the first box too.
Nice. No, Fry Guys are the little fireballs from Mario 2.
Really? I thought they were the Shy Guys from Paper Mario that were on fire. Did we just get the Midas touch?
No, you got the Golden Glove. You know, the award for amateur boxing.
Oh. Wario technically cheats, though. All he does is shoulder tackle the other guy the whole match. Sorry, I had to hold back another reference there for a second. What was that one infamous boxing match where the other guy was a really technical fighter? Number one, his opponent, Chavez or something? He was years past his prime, and the other guy was a really defensive fighter who wasn't very interesting to watch, but this was a really hyped up match because they were like two champions that everybody had wanted to see fight for a while. And it was just a giant debacle. Speaking of debacles.
It's a snake. You know, this has to be one of the worst video game boss gigs you could possibly have.
Just sitting in a basement all day? Or fighting an immortal opponent?
Yeah, not just immortal, but because you know, I mean, we go back to Undertale. There's
that whole. Well, I guess I get to show what happens when you lose against the boss.
Excuse me? Well, I mean, now we can just run straight there.
It was bad, and you should feel bad. Hey, wake up, dumbass. I want a rematch. I guess the trick to this fight is you don't want to get caught in that corner there. Or either of the corners, really. Not getting stuck in his head would be useful, too, I guess.
But yeah, it's being a boss for not only... Because, you know, all video game characters are practically immortal because you'll just keep coming back until you win.
Hmm.
But if you've got one that you literally can't even kill, you know, not just hard to beat, but you can't even stop him.
Hmm.
You can kind of slow him down-ish. Alright, how many guesses is it gonna take today? That's gonna be a
4 or a 5? Or a 9?
4, 6. No, wait, yeah, 4, 5, 9. Why'd I say 6? I don't know. That's not a 5, so 4 or 9.
Doesn't help.
Now we're getting all the ones that aren't going to tell us shit.
That's a 9. Woohoo!
Ta-da!
And your prize is a slip of paper. That was worth 150 coins, right? Will be eventually.
More of a tile, really.
Yeah, you're right, because it's all shiny. And what do we get for all of our hard work against the snake? An awesome cutscene. So it took all this time for Wario to realize, hey, wait a second, something's missing here.
And much like Donkey Kong, Holy crap, I just realized. It's Donkey Kong all over again. It was, you know, someone who started out as a big bully enemy of Mario, only to discover that their greed collection of shit they'd been hoarding has been taken by enemies, thus turning them into a protagonist.
Now this is a fascinating thing about this game right here. See this chicken right here? That's Wario's pet chicken. She flies away, and immediately, he stops chasing after the pirates to go find her. This chicken is the one thing in the universe Wario cares about more than money.
It's like Harley Quinn for the Joker. I'm sure Wario hates himself for wanting his chicken.
Anyways, that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. We're on the verge of Chapter 2, the SST Cup. But until then, join us again next time to see us go through this forest, eventually end up on the SST Cup, and who knows what else will happen in the meantime. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu.
And I am... Chicken Run. I don't know.
We'll see you again then. Later, everybody.
Goodbye.